Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at prime numbers and composite numbers, and those are related to factors. So let's do one little quick review of factors. If you have a number like 12, and you say, hey, what are the factors of 12? You do that factor rainbow thing I was talking about. So you say, okay, well I know 1 can go into it because 1 goes into any number, right? Any whole number. So 1 times, what's 12? 1 times 12 is 12. Okay, so I've got 2 factors now. What about 2? Well, it's even, so I know 2 goes into it, but 2 times what? Well, I just need to remember in this case. Or I can look at my multiples chart if I need to. One of these guys. Right there, 2 times 6. There's another pair of factors. What else goes into it? Is 3? Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 3 times 4. And once you get this close, you can't fit 3.5 in there, so we finished it. Once there's like hardly any space in the middle, like you're done. So how many factors did we get? We got, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 factors. So that's how you do factors. But what if you have a number that looks like this? Like, let's say 7. Factors of 7. Well, we've got 1 times 7. You know that, right? Because immediately you always know there are 2 factors to any whole number. 1 and then times the number itself. 1 times 7. What about 2? Does 2 go in it? No, 2 doesn't go into odd numbers, does it? It only goes into even numbers. Does 3 go in? And you guys, even numbers, even means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It means you can count by 2s to get to that number. So every number goes odd, even, odd, even. So 1's odd, 2's even, 3's odd, 4's even, 5's odd, 6 is even, 7's odd, 8's even, 9's odd. So that's how it goes. It always goes odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. And the even numbers can have they can have pairs in them, but the odd ones don't all come in pairs. You can't count to 2 to get to it, in other words. So getting back to this, 7, are there any more? We just said, hey, there's no 2. Is there a 3? Nope, because it goes 3, 6, 9. You can't count to 7 by 3s. What about 4s? Nope, goes 4, 8. So that's it, there are only 2. So this, when there are only 2 factors, and the factors are 1 and the number itself, so there are only 2 factors, it is, what's the word? Prime. It's a prime number. Prime number. Prime means that there are only 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. So if you do a factor rainbow and you only have one little loop and you're just like, hey, where's the rest of the rainbow? That means it's prime. Let's look at some more prime numbers. And you guys, I'm just gonna, well, let's think about it. Do you think 8 is prime? I can tell immediately it's not because 8 is even. What number goes into every even number? That one right there, 2. So I know for a fact 2 goes into 8. 2 times what is 8? 2 times 4 is 8. So no, that's not even. That's not prime. Because look, I have 2 little loops there. I have 2 parts of my rainbow. It's only prime if you only have 2 factors. The first one's number 1. The second one is the number itself. Let's try 9. Do you think 9 is going to be a prime number? It's odd, so I know 2 can't go into it. Let's see. Let's see. We know 1 and 9 go in. But are there any more that go in? Because remember, if it's going to be prime, it's got to look like this. But you know what? Now that I think about it, 3 goes to 9. 3, 6, 9. So that's not 3 times 3 is 9. So no, see how there are 2 lines there? That means I've got, in this case, 3's twice. I've got 1, 2, 3 factors. It's more than 2, not prime. And here's something else to consider, my friends. If a number is not prime, it's called composite. Composite means that you have more than just 2 factors. You have several. So if you can make a couple lines in your factor rainbow, it's not prime, it's composite. Let's try, so I know 10 is, that's going to be composite, right? It's not going to be prime because I've got, for one thing, it's even, and I can also count by 5s to it. But what about 11? Let's try 11. Anybody have a guess? Do you think that'll be prime or composite? Well, we know for a fact there's one match, right? There's a 1 in 11. But are there any others? 2 won't go in because it's odd. 3 doesn't count to 11. Nope. 4 doesn't count to 11. 5 doesn't count to 11. 6 doesn't count to 11. Neither does 7. 7 times 2 is 14. That's too much. So that definitely doesn't count to 11. So hey, that's it. There's just, I got one little line of my factors, my factor rainbow. And because there are only 2 factors, it's, what's it called? Prime number. So that's how you figure out if a number is prime or composite. You make the factor rainbow. If you only have this one little lonely rainbow line like that without any buddies lines, and it's not like all the colors of the rainbow, it's like just this one little color, that means it's prime. The only way you can build that number is by multiplying 1 and the number itself. Prime. So you're going to find, especially at first, between 1 and 10, a lot of those odd numbers are going to be prime. But you're going to have to think about it yourself. We just figured out 9's not prime, is it? Because 3 times 3 is, but 11 is. What about 7? Maybe it is. So here's something else that I want you to think about. There are 2 numbers that are not prime or composite. Does anybody think they know what they are? Which 2 numbers are neither prime nor composite? What's your guess? I'll give you a hint. They're low numbers. If you said 1, you would be correct. That's one of them. Anybody know why? Because check out your factor rainbow. 1 times what equals 1? 1 times 1. So you can kind of do that sort of thing, I guess. But look at that's the same number twice. A prime number has 2 factors, 1 in the number itself. But in this case, the number itself is 1. So 1's this kind of funny number. I'm just going to say that. 1's a funny number. And it's not considered prime. Because it doesn't have 2 factors, like 7 would be 1 and 7. See how you only have 2 factors and you only have 1 line, but you do have 2 factors. 1's this funny number that only has 1 number. It's not prime. It's like just this funny number. It's something else. So not considered prime. And the other one is 0. Why do you think 0 would be not prime or composite? Well, think about what equals 0. 0 times 1, that equals 0. 0 times 2 equals 0, 0 times 3 equals 0, 0 times 4 equals 0, 0 times 5 equals 0, 0 times 6 equals 0, 0 times 7 equals 0. You could go on. 0 times 1 million equals 0, and you could go all the way up. You can count forever. It's infinite. So 0 is also not considered prime or composite because there are more than 2 factors, but there are infinite factors. You can't even count them, so it's also not considered either one. So 0 and 1 are these kind of weird numbers. They're not prime or composite, but all other numbers are. So if you want to see, hey, is this number prime or composite? Let's just think of a number like, let's say, we know it's got to be odd if it's going to be prime. Let's try to find a prime number. Let's say 15. Well, let's see. I know 1 and 15 immediately. I can do that. 2 doesn't go in because it's odd. But guess what? 3 does, doesn't it? So what's it called if you have more than one line? It's composite. What about, let's try 17. You know 1 and 17. 2 doesn't go in because it's odd. 2 goes in only even numbers. 3, does 3 go into 17? Nope. 4? Nope. 5? Nope. 6? Nope. 7? Nope. 8? Nope. 9? Nope. There's only one line, only 2 numbers, 1 in the number itself. It's, what's that called? Prime. Prime means the only factors are 1 and the number itself. So please, in your book, do pages 57 and 58.